Okay, yeah, you guys stand right behind me. Come on both sides, yeah. Okay, two on one side, one on, yeah. You stay here and you stay here, Josh. Good. Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. And I have joining me some speakers who are very worried about the fate of health care in America as it affects their families and all Americans. They are Renee Saltzman and her daughter, Emily, and Jeremy, right here, and Josh Feynman, Penny's dad. Penny couldn't be with us today, but Josh is, and he'll tell their story. We'll hear their stories in a minute. But let me say a few things. Once again, the loss of Ruth Bader Ginsburg touches all of us. She was an amazing lady. She fought against all odds, brought equality for women, got on the court and brought equality for everybody. She will be missed. And as I mentioned, to put someone on the court whose views are the exact opposite of Ruth Bader Ginsburg at a time when she asked, as her dying wish, that we wait till the next election to choose somebody, is just appalling. That Donald Trump would go ahead and do that, and that Mitch McConnell would follow him to do it. But he's done that, and now we want to talk about the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett. This is troubling news for hundreds of millions of Americans and their health care. Amy Coney Barrett has said that ACA is wrongly decided. She will be the swing vote on that court. And if she gets on the court, it's a virtual certainty that over 150 million Americans' health care will be hurt dramatically. A vote for Amy Coney Barrett is a vote to decimate the health care that so many Americans need. There are 130 million Americans who have pre-existing conditions. We'll hear from two families whose kids have them. But you could be a senior. You could be somebody with diabetes who's 55 years old. You could be somebody with asthma who's 28 years old. In Amy Coney Barrett's world, if she gets on the court, it'll be virtually impossible for you to get insurance. And once the protections for pre-existing conditions are eliminated, if you have a child who has a serious illness, no insurance company will take you, and you'll have to watch your child suffer. The outrage. There are also over 30 million seniors who get reduced costs for very expensive prescription drugs, lost if Obamacare is repealed, which is what Amy Coney Barrett wants to do. And there are close to 10 million Americans whose only health care is through the ACA. They will lose their health care as well. Donald Trump, as recently as this morning, said one of the reasons he's putting Coney Barrett on the court is to get rid of America's health care, to get rid of the ACA. That should not stand. And we are asking New Yorkers and Americans to call senators all over the country and say, do not let this happen. Of course, there are other issues as well. Women's health and a woman's right to choose is completely at risk. Labor rights are completely at risk. We could end labor unions under a court with Coney Barrett. Protections for our planet as global warming increases could be gone under a Coney Barrett addition to the court. Kids like Emily are in the crosshairs, unfortunately, with this appointment. Americans don't want this appointment. The vast majority of Americans say wait for the next president and then make the appointment. The overwhelming majority of Americans want to keep their health care and not have it dramatically slashed. And that's why Coney Barrett does not belong on the court. We are here today to say that there are so many reasons she should not be added to the court. At the top of the list is health care, but we also know there are so many other issues where she's against the American people. She's claimed if justices read the law the way she does, they would, quote, have to invalidate the entire health care law. That word sounds shivers down the spine of these families and millions of others. Millions of others. Her record also makes clear that she will work hard to eliminate Roe v. Wade and a woman's right to choose, that she will, at the very least, so cut it back that we won't even know it existed. Her views are so far out of the mainstream, on health care above all, but on so many other issues as well. This is a reprehensible power grab. It's a cynical attack on the legitimacy of the court, engineered by Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump, and we are going to do everything we can to fight it. But the best way, people, when they say, what can they do to help? Call senators across the country, especially Republican senators, and let them know you want to keep your health care. You want to keep, if you're a woman, you want to keep your freedom and reproductive freedom. If you care about the globe, that you want to keep us fighting global warming. If you care about working people, you want to keep labor rights. Call, call, call. We can stop this nomination if the American people rise up and say no, and put heat on Republican senators who are now bowing to Donald Trump's awful wishes to get rid of your health care and so much else. I am now going to call on Renee Saltzman and Jeremy Saltzman and Emily, who will talk a little bit about their situation. Right? Are you going to do that, Emily? Okay, great. Come on up. And to show this is a bipartisan issue, Emily is wearing an elephant on her on her shirt.
Think about that.
We did not think about it.
That's okay.
And honestly, this is not about Republicans or Democrats, and it's not about politics. It's about right and wrong. And our daughter, Emily, suffered a traumatic brain injury at the age of 7 due to an accident. She's now 12, and she continues to go through recovery. She has a pre-existing condition. So everyone here today, either yourself or a family member, a loved one, a friend, you know somebody that has a pre-existing condition. My daughter should not be denied health care because of a pre-existing condition. So no American, we feel, should be denied health care because of a pre-existing condition. So our family is using our voice to say we're not going to allow this to happen. I will not let my daughter be discriminated against. And we have the best gift. We have our voice, the power of our voices. So I'm begging you, please, please use your voice.
It's never been more important. Get out and vote.
Please.
And let me just say, every American, whether they're 2 years old or 90 years old, is one diagnosis away from a pre-existing condition. And under the Trump world, with Coney Barrett on the court, you will never be able to get insurance, and your health will suffer dramatically. We now have Mr. Fryman, who will talk about his daughter, Mr. Fryman, who will talk about his daughter, Penny.
Thank you, Senator. Yes, I just want to talk. So my daughter also, she couldn't be here today. She actually lives in an assisted care facility, and under COVID hasn't been able to get out. Thank God for that facility and the care they're giving her, and that wouldn't be possible without so many of the protections that we get under a number of our laws, both Medicaid, which he has, and also private health insurance. And I know that the Saltzman spoke very eloquently about pre-existing conditions and how quickly that can put you in trouble with insurance if that protection isn't there. Another one that's come up with Penny is lifetime caps, yes, which is in danger. And as the senator said, everybody is one diagnosis away from having a pre-existing condition for the rest of your life. Anybody is one diagnosis or one accident, one illness away from hitting a lifetime cap. You can run through, believe me, I've seen it, you can run through hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills in a single year, sometimes less than that. And to think that if that protection is taken away and her private insurance, and she still needs private insurance for a lot of her care, if that's taken away, she would hit even the most generous caps within a year or two. So, I mean, this is, I know for the Sultans as well, for me, this is an issue that really does transcend politics. This is something that we really need to look out for our fellow Americans and even for ourselves. I mean, this can really happen to anybody, and so I'm here for to speak for Penny. She can't do it for herself, and also to tell everybody that these are your rights as well that we need to all protect.
And lifetime caps are also protected in the ACA, which Judge Coney Barrett wants to eliminate. And let me just say, we're one vote away. The vote was 5-4 in the court with Ruth Bader Ginsburg upholding ACA. If she's replaced by Judge Coney Barrett, that will be flipped and all these things will go away. Again, a vote for Coney Barrett. Let me just finish what I'm saying. A vote for Coney Barrett is a vote to strip away health care from over 100 million Americans. It will happen if she's on the bench. So once again, New Yorkers, Americans, raise your voices. Yes, sir. They will not do any good. He said it for 3 years. He's never done it. It won't work. You're next. No, because I believe, first, that the whole process has been illegitimate, and second, because she's already stated that she is for overturning the ACA, I will not meet with her.
Senator, do you have any procedural moves at your disposal to delay or put off this nomination?
Look, we will use every tool in the toolkit to slow things down. But Mitch McConnell has so commandeered the Senate, has so defiled the Senate. There are fewer tools and they're less sharp, but what is there we will use. Other questions? Thank you, everybody.
Can I ask a follow-up, if you don't mind? There's been some discussion about her religion playing a role here. How much
Should play no role, no role. It's the issues, the fact that she will repeal ACA. She will hurt a woman's right to choose. And repealing ACA, no matter what an executive president does, will not restore it. Period. You need the law to do it. Can't hear you. He asked. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Senator,
you.
do you want to take a photo with the family?
Yes,
For our...
yes. Let's do one together and then separate. Great.
That's not a report.
You're not a reporter, sir. Well, I've answered you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I answered your question. Thank you, everybody. Nice to see you.